Let's do it.
All right, so if you don't know me, if you just stumble upon this live stream, my name is Anuj, and I have been traveling to all the 50 states of the United States in order to spread the awareness on discrimination against high-skilled workers based on their country of birth. And I'm happy to say that today I'm at my 58th state. I'm in Austin, Texas, right in front of the state capitol. And it's good that I have reached this 50th state, and I am glad that a lot of people has joined here to raise this awareness against discrimination against high-skilled workers. And we just completed our march. We marched from Austin City Hall to the state capitol. That went very well. So there was like this crazy idea, right, that I'm going to travel to all the 50 states to raise this awareness. So no one has done this before. Like no one has protested yet in all the state capitals, right, on all the 50 states. And the reason why I took on this crazy challenge is because that this discrimination, that is this high skill immigration in the United States, it's right now prioritized based on where someone is born rather than skills, education, experience. Those things matter less. And it's like very unfair to a lot of people who are already here doing everything right. So that is like there are a lot of issues in the world, a lot of issues in the United States. But this is something I found which is like not only legally important to a lot of people who are already here, but it's also hurting America at the same time. So talking about that how it is unfair is because that lot of this country cap, it's only there when it comes to high skill immigration, right? When it comes to permanent residency, then there is a country cap. But when it comes to student visa, when it comes to work visa, then we don't have this country cap. So what happens is that whatever students United States need, whatever workers United States has shortage of, they don't mind that getting that from one particular country. They can come from anywhere. But once they are here, that growth depends on where they are born, because they are not eligible to get the permanent residency. So they cannot travel in and out of the country easily. They cannot qualify for a lot of the jobs. If they lose their job, they need to leave the country within 60 days, no matter how long they've been in the country, right? Speaking about me, I have been here for 15 years, came for my master's in 2009. I'm still here. My immigration petition is approved for a long time now, but I don't have path to permanent residency just because where I was born. And there are a lot of people I have seen that they come from this country, right? That I am from India. And there are a lot of students and workers who come from India, and they had to go through a lot of struggles of not just their own, right? Their parents has put on so much efforts to send them for the better opportunity. A lot of them take mortgages, a lot of them sell their land to get here. And we don't know that when we come here, we realize that, okay, United States is one of the fairest country where if you work hard, then you get rewarded. But right now what is happening is that these guys, a lot of people like me, we have been doing everything right, following all the laws, did our education, contributing so much to the America, but we don't have this path just based on where we were born. So this is wrong. If someone from India comes today, their wait time is 150 years. Meanwhile, someone with much less education experience, sometimes they never been to the United States, they can qualify for this permanent residency right away. So that is so unfair. But at the same time, second reason I did this is because it's hurting America so much, which very few people realize, right? That a doctor who is treating you today that doctor could have been qualified based on where that doctor was born rather than skills. So it is risky also because of the nature of this kind of job, which are at high level jobs. Sometimes they are like managing cybersecurity for the United States or like a lot of big organizations. And that thing, when that is prioritized based on the country of birth, then the workforce goes down. Sometimes they need to hire 2 people when they can get the job done with 1 people, and that brings the cost higher up. So it's riskier, it's not good for America. And also what is happening is that the qualified people who are more skilled, experienced, whose immigration petition has been approved for a long time, they don't have path to permanent residency. So what it means that they will be never able to get vote. And people who would be able to get voting rights, those are sometimes so qualified based on where they are born. So when someone is qualified based on this kind of discriminatory policy, in the future, when they have a voting right, they want to support this kind of policy, right? So that's like not good for America. And it's like we've been here, I've been here for 15 years, and we all been here for a long time. And one thing we have all learned, that Americans are very great people, and there is no discrimination, right? At my job, I'm welcome, right? I haven't faced any discrimination at all from the American people. And only reason this law is there is because not many Americans know about this country cap, that even it affects people who are already here. Sometimes someone who came on work visa, their kid is like 1 or 2. So that kid grow up here because their parents doesn't have path to permanent residency. This kid, when it turns 21, then they have to start before, or they need to find this journey all over again. So that's so unfair and hurting America, that you are like not treating all these high-skilled immigrants who are contributing so much, who are like doing everything right. So that's so unfair. So that's why we are here today. And I am done with my 58 states, but this thing we need to do is like just beginning, because that hasn't changed. If you are listening about this for the first time, there are bills already in the House and Congress, House and Senate, both HR 6542, S3291. So that's in House and Senate. You can reach out to your senator, you can reach out to your congressman and write them that this is hurting America and it's so unfair. So if you can ask them to support these bills and removal of the country cap, that would be great. We're gonna be here and try to talk to as many people as we can to raise this awareness. And we also like need to continue doing that every time we get, every chance we get to let people know that this is something wrong, we need to speak up more, right? So that's what we're gonna continue doing. There are a lot of folks here. Atal, who has been doing great advocacy, is here as well, and he wants to say something. So right now I will hand over to Atal.
Thank you, Anuj.
Thank you, Anuj, for all the great advocacy work you have been doing, and I think creating a lot of inspiration for all of us here. I feel like the people who have showed up is because of the courage that you have shown over all these months, going to every state, meeting people, educating them about it. So very grateful for all the work that you have done. I mean, this is like, for me, being here, standing outside the Texas state capitol. First of all, I have a lot of gratitude to be here. Getting a chance to share my opinions and what I'm experiencing is a big thing to have in this world. So I'm very grateful to be here. When I came to America 7 years ago, I came to a country of dreams, and that was like my whole thinking about America. I grew up looking up to Gandhi, who fought for freedom, and that's the whole thinking in my mind about how freedom works and why freedom is important, and America is a free country. It's only when I came here and I started getting into the education system and different visas, I started realizing how much challenge is there for people to be able to live their dreams. When I came on my first visa as a student, I was struggling to think about, I want to do a startup and I can't do a startup because that visa has those restrictions. And then when I changed to H-1B is when I realized that I'm stuck with my employer. And when I want to do more, when I want to create more jobs for American people, when I want to give more and share my true potential, which is what American Dream is all about. Do whatever comes to your mind, live up to your true potential. And when human being lives up to their true potential, they give the most value to earth and to the country which they are serving. So when someone is restricted and is stuck with their employer for 100 years through this green card backlog that is happening, then they are not able to live up to their true potential. And when they are not able to live up to their true potential, then they are not free. And the thinking about freedom is like either we are all free or none of us is free. So it is very important for us to understand that if I am not free, then how can everyone else be free? Because just how the freedom works. And as Martin Luther King has said, that injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere else. That is what we are facing when we are stuck with our employer for 100+ years in the green card backlog. As you all know, this thing has to change for a better future for our children. Another issue that I got to know about a few months ago is someone, let's say, is born in India, like at the age of, let's say, 1 year, their parents immigrated to America. This kid, this small kid, as a 1-year-old, their family immigrated to America. This person grew up looking at the American flag, listened to the American anthem every day, and grew up looking up to the America as a nation for their family. And as they grow older in this country and know everything about this country and very much deeply attached to the nation, this is just how nationalism works. Now, as soon as they turn 21, they cannot live in America anymore because they were a dependent on their parents. But because their parents are waiting in 100+ years on the green card backlog, they have to self-deport themselves. So when I met some of these kids who have now turned 21, and now their parents have not received their green card and they are kind of like self-deporting themselves outside America, I felt like, what is the belonging left for them? Like, what is the future we are offering to these kids who grew up in this nation? As a 1-year-old, that kid did not knew where they were born. All that kid knew is that this is my country. And after they turn 21, you tell them that they are not belong here? What kind of country will do that? So we need to understand how sensitive this issue is when we are helping and talking about immigrant rights, especially the people who are coming through the legal way, who are fulfilling through all the ways of going through from one visa to another, paying all the taxes every year. What are we showing to them through this model? So I feel it's pretty important to think through these things about what a nation we want to show to the world. What is this role model of America, and why it is so important to lead through dignity and freedom and show that nation that the forefathers of America imagined when the America was established in 1776. Because the America that was established in 1776 was established on a set of ideas, the ideas of dignity, the ideas of freedom, the ideas of equality. And here, there is an immigrant who is stuck with their employer for up to 100+ years and is not able to live up to their potential. So I appeal to all the people out here. First of all, thank you for listening to us and being a part of creating this history and being an observer, being a contributor, being there to support this mission to create better lives for the future generations. Because in the end, it's all about helping humans live their dreams, and I hope America continues to be a beacon of hope for all the immigrants out there, irrespective of where they are coming from, and especially the people who are coming through the legal pathways. I hope they don't have to wait for 100+ years through the legal processes to get freedom in America. Thank you so much for listening to me.
Thank you, Adel. Thank you, Adel. Yeah, thank you. You have been doing great advocacy, and I have been telling people that if we have 50 more adults, then this issue would solve in like a year, right? That you have been very consistent in raising the awareness on Twitter and engaging different people on this conversation. So we need more of that, and we need more in-person protest as well. All right, anyone else want to share anything, any struggles or any thoughts or anything at all? we thank Emily is here and one of the only immigration attorney who is here to support our cause. So we appreciate being here and.
Right. Thank you so much for having me. I'm glad to be here today to support this cause. You know, I think one of the very common threads that we hear about immigrants coming to our country right now is, why don't they just get in line? That's something that is talked a lot about, people coming at our southwest border, a lot of people dealing with the undocumented population, just get in line. But what if that line was 100 years long, regardless of your qualifications, and simply because of where you were born? How does that make any sense? How is that helping our country? America was built on immigrants. We are a melting pot. I feel honored to be able to help people achieve their American dream. But every day as an immigration attorney, I have files that come across my desk. I'll have one file for someone from India and another file for someone from practically any other country in the world. They have the exact same qualifications. They came to this country at the exact same time. They have the exact same employer. They do the exact same job. And the person from the country, the other country, can receive their green card and move on with their life within 2 years. The person from India, 100 years. And it's simply based on their country of birth. I mean, that is, clear discrimination. Discrimination, we're very against it in this country based on things you can't change about yourself. That's what makes discrimination so terrible. And you cannot change your country of birth. There's nothing you can do about it. And we're choosing who gets to stay here, who gets to move on, who gets to start a business, who gets to have a family here based simply on where they're born. And I don't think that's fair. I think it should be based on when you got in line. We're always telling people, get in line, do it the right way. These people are doing it the right way. And they're told to get in a line that takes 100 years. They have to keep a job that entire time. They're never going to be able to retire. They're contributing to Social Security. They're keeping Social Security alive. They're keeping universities alive. A lot of universities are struggling because they don't have the American students that can afford to pay tuition, and they are able to stay afloat because of international students. Yet, as soon as those international students graduate, we're telling them, go home, compete against us. That doesn't make any sense because we offer them no pathways. And all of this can be changed. We need Congress to step up, make a simple fix to our immigration system. There are a lot of problems with our immigration system. Definitely, a lot of things, a lot of priorities out there. But this is one thing. All we have to do is change the 7% per country cap that was created in the 1990s when the world was a very different place, before the internet even existed. We need an immigration system that keeps up with the times. Congress needs to act, and I hope everyone who is watching and listening will get involved, be advocates. You have to be in the driver's seat. You have to get the word out. You have to ask for what you want. Don't expect someone else to do it for you. We all need to get in this together, and together we can make change. Thank you.
All right, yeah, thank you, Emily, for coming here and all your advocacy you do, like constantly promoting this thing on your weekly call to encourage people who are listening to their weekly show to write member of the Congress and senator, which we need to do. All right, at this point, does anyone has anything else they want to share?
Hey all, my name is Clifton Reddy, and I cannot speak as eloquently as Anuj has done, spoken or uttered, but I have a few points that I wanted to basically bring forward, which they've already mentioned. It'll probably be a repeat of everything that I've said, but I came here in 2013. Both my sons were born in India. One was a year and a half, and the other one was 5.5 years old. And the US is the only country they've known now for most part of their lives. And like they've said, at the age of 21, they will have to basically deport themselves from the United States. My son, the oldest son, is a freshman. He's in the 11th grade right now. He's been a valedictorian, and he will basically lose out on everything that he has gained this far He's we, and from on our part, we basically do everything right. We come here the legal way. We do everything, and touch wood, I do not even have a parking ticket till now. So we do everything the right way. We do everything legally. We contribute towards social security. But when it comes to being treated fairly, that is something that gets denied just because of a characteristic which we cannot change. It's our country of birth. So we are asking the congressmen, the senators to please, and we urge them to please take a notice of this and alleviate our issues that we have, and please bring fairness to the system and to all the 1 million and odd immigrants stuck in this backlog, especially people from India. I mean, who will probably never ever see their green cards in their lifetime. Thank you once again. Thanks, Anuj, for doing this. Thank you very much.
Remind me your name?
Thanks, Clifton.
Clifton, yeah, thanks. Thank you again. Thank you for sharing your story. So this is story of the same story of like there are million plus legal immigrants who are already living in the United States. Is the similar story that they came here on a merit, but now they are stuck in this backlog, and they are doing everything right, but they cannot get this permanent residency, and they have to face all these hurdles. And these two kids, they did everything right as well, right? But even the kids are struggling, and all this entire family, they would have been permanent resident if they were like born somewhere else, even though they are like in the skill-based immigration category, right? So that's so wrong, and that needs to change. That we shouldn't like punish people who are doing everything right, right? Okay, all right. Is anyone want to say anything? Sure, Ajay.
So again, like Clifton was mentioning, I can't be as articulative as Anuj, Atul, or Emily, but again, sharing my story, I came back here into the US in 2014, got my MBA degree from Texas A&M University. I'm working in one of the biggest global companies, Toyota, and I've been working with them. And like Anuj kind of touched upon, I've never seen any discrimination in my professional circle or in my family and friends. But I share the same story as Clifton, where my daughter came into this country when she was 3 years old, and the only country that she has known is America. She does not know Indian national anthem, and I've tried to teach her that, but she knows the American national anthem. When she becomes 21, I am fighting this fight not only for myself, I'm fighting this fight for her as well. And like everyone mentioned, just touching upon the fact that we are trying to do everything legally, and we are still stuck in this this challenge is the most disheartening aspect of this journey. What I want to kind of end this conversation with is, what can I do? What is the call to action for people who are listening, right? And we all said that congressmen should do something, Senate should do something. They will not do anything if you are not in the driver's seat. So I would definitely encourage everyone to go to Emily's website, Immigration Girl. She has got some templates of emails that all you have to do is copy paste, search for your congressman, your senator, based on your home address, and go to their website, copy paste the template, replace with your story, and send it to them. We have to send this letter, send these stories to our congressmen. If they don't know our story, they will not be able to represent us. Just because you're Indian and you're not a citizen, don't think that you don't have right. Don't be afraid to raise your voice for the discrimination that's happening. So this is the call to action for everyone. Go to Immigration Girl. You don't have to write anything. Just copy paste the templates and send it to your congressman and senator, and that's where true action happens. So I hope that even if 50% of people who are watching this are able to do that, I think our stories will be spread more. And instead of 20 people standing here in the next protest, we will see 50, 100 people asking for this with this justice. So with that, I will pass it back to Anuj.
Yeah, thank you Ajay for sharing your story, and that's a great, right, that what we can do, and that's like the simplest you can do, that call to action, that the template is ready, and it's like you can just put your zip code, and that will give you your who is your representative, and then you just have to send that letter to your representative and follow up on that letter, right? That's one of the easiest way you can do. And I usually say that the only reason I guess this issue won't solve It's not because like people are against it or people like we not getting any support from the Congress. The only reason it won't change is because if we have this belief that it will not change. And if we have this belief, then we're not going to take action. We're not going to do anything. And if we're not going to do anything, it's like it's very rare that people who are like benefiting because of this kind of discrimination, they just come and they say that we have been doing wrong and let's just fix this. So that's like very less possibility. So the only reason it won't change if we have a belief that it's not going to change. So we need to take action. All right, at this point, anyone has anything to share? Right.
I see a lot of crowd in Austin area.
Right.
There's a diversity visa as well. But when it comes to high skill jobs, right?
Yeah, so Murli is saying that we need to motivate people to participate in this kind of events and all this call to action, right? That we have been talking with the Area 51 podcast when we recorded last week. They have been doing a great job, and we were talking that we don't have to do, all of us don't want to do the same thing. If we do that, that's great. But figure out what you like and what is sustainable for you, right? That if you like traveling, that's what I did, that I enjoyed going to all the 50 states. It was difficult, but I enjoyed traveling. So that's what I took on, that this is something I can enjoy while supporting this cause. Like Area 51 is doing the podcast because they are like two friends, they have great chemistry and they are doing amazing job at raising the awareness, right? So figure out those things, and we did this kind of event because we also wanted to show, right, that we can do this legally. And as Murli was saying, that we need to motivate more people, so hopefully that motivates other people. But if you know anyone, like, let's make it normal to have this kind of conversation, that this is not something we did wrong, right? If we did something wrong, then we should be afraid of speaking up about it. But you are in the backlog, it's not your fault. So you shouldn't be afraid about speaking up to or talking to anyone. So let's do more of this so we can like raise this awareness faster and put the pressure on the policymaker to make these things right. All right, everyone who has joined here, I appreciate it. Now we're gonna stand here. I see that because we have like good group and we have science, a lot of people are interested in finding out what this is about. And some people are coming and already asking us what this is about. So that's great. So that's what we're going to do. Is that a petition?
No, it's not a petition. You
People as we can and spread this awareness. Hopefully motivate them to reach out to their member of representative as well. Okay, all right. That's it for now. Thank you everyone who watched online this event and supporting from wherever you are. Please continue doing the work to spread more awareness and to reaching out to your member of the Congress as well to fix this issue. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Anuj.